Shout out to the sponsors of the podcast, MonarchToken.io, the complete crypto solution. Monarch Wallet is now available for Android, iOS, and desktop devices today. Do you want to learn how to mine crypto? Well, all you have to do is visit cryptomining.tools for profitable crypto mining information today. The Divi Project, that is diviproject.org, your one-click solution for staking and masternodes. Earn cryptocurrency using social media platforms like SOME.social, SOMEE.social, New Era Social Media. Get paid to write reviews, like reviews, comment on reviews. Visit bravocoin.com and get paid to review, available for Android and iOS devices, bravocoin.com. Shout out to the sponsors of the podcast, MonarchToken.io, the complete crypto solution. Monarch Wallet is now available for Android, iOS, and desktop devices today. Do you want to learn how to mine crypto? Well, all you have to do is visit cryptomining.tools for profitable crypto mining information today. The Divi Project, that is diviproject.org, your one-click solution for stake. Hey, how goes it? Ken Bozak here to talk about Bitcoin and Bitcoin accessories. And today I'm here with my bros, the Coin Bros. How goes it? Wait, why can't I hear you now? See, I knew this was going to be an issue. My computer's just not being cool.
Well,
wait, there you
else
go.
Can hear us.
I can hear you.
What's up, guys?
Can you hear him?
Oh, now I can hear you. There you go. Jeez, this computer's just playing with me.
And with your emotions.
Yeah, right. Well, why
Well,
don't you go ahead and introduce yourselves, guys? Let people know who you are. Maybe start off with like a little rabbit hole story, like how you got into crypto, and let people know what you're doing now in the industry.
cool.
Go for it. What's up? My name is Tawi. I am one of the Coin Bros and also a founder of Toon Trade, the platform that we are going to be launching here pretty soon. The rabbit hole we got into crypto is pretty much like everybody else, man. It was pre-2017. A couple of my brothers had been part of projects. They showed me all about it, and then I started trading a little bit, and then got real sick with it. Lost a bunch of money, made a bunch of money, lost a bunch of money, made a bunch of money, lost a bunch of money, lost a bunch of money, lost a bunch of money, just kept losing. And then
Sounds like you're right up to where the market's at now.
Yeah, exactly. And then now this is where we're at.
Yep.
Now,
And then
now I live in my parents' basement. No, I'm just kidding.
Just wait for the next bull run. They'll be living in your basement.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, I'm Jess. I'm also part of the Coin Bros and founder of the Toon Trade platform. And the same thing. I just got involved because brothers told me about it, and then the rabbit hole began. And same thing, won money, lost money, and now we're here. So still losing money.
Stay with us. We won't lose it all.
Nah, we're good. We got this. Actually, it's more on a positive tip. Yeah, I've been in the crypto scene since before 2017. One of the original founders of the Divi project. Still, it's a protocol, a one-click masternode solution. Released that, had a successful exit, and started up with managing the Coin Bros. I'm actually brothers with Tawi. We're brothers. And yeah, just been working closely with them and also the Toon Trade project that Tawi was referencing.
You're actually Coin Bros.
Yeah, we are Coin Brothers. And funny enough, Jesse is actually he's married to my sister, so he's actually a brother too.
He's a brother by law, yeah, man. That's actually a name that fits.
Yeah.
Well, you guys jumped into the space in an interesting way with a lot of these videos and stuff, and especially like I think one of the more popular ones is y'all hanging out with like McAfee and shit. Like, talk about a little bit about that, what that was like, and what inspired that, and what like doing this in this space was like at that time.
Yeah, for sure. I'll say, yeah. So with the McAfee effect, me and Jesse we just made a song called BTFD by the fucking Dip, and it's we just kind of were goofing around. Our older brother said, "Hey, you guys should do a song about that," and then we put it together. And we just used our cell phone, man. We had like an iPhone, and we're just like, I made the song, and then we're just like, let's just film a goofy video or whatever. And then we did it. We put it together and we put it out, and I put a little line in there where I talk about McAfee in it. I just for a split second, I forget what I say, like McAfee on my Twitter or something. And then I sent it to him on Twitter, just the video, this before we had any views. And then I went to sleep, and then I woke up and he had been fucking retweeting it. Without telling us. We didn't even
It's
know.
got hundreds of thousands of views.
Well, he had 1 million at the time. this is the time when McAfee is like God, right? And anything he has a coin.
Well, coin of the day was still going.
Yeah, like the midst of coin of the day things that he was doing, and then so he tweeted it, and we wake up and we're like, I'm like, I think YouTube's broken, bro. We got like 100,000 views, bro. I don't know what the hell. And then
should have monetized that video.
Yeah, and then I see that he had tweeted it, and I'm like, holy shit, this is crazy. So that gave us a huge boost. And I wrote him just thanking him and stuff, and he's like, I really like it, man. It's great what you guys are doing. So I happened to just leave my phone number on his DM, and then I think like 4 hours later, we're just chilling at my brother's house, and I get a phone call from some weird ass number. It's like the Barbados or somewhere weird, and it's hi, it's John McAfee. I was like, what the fuck? I thought it was someone messing with me. I didn't think it was real. And I was like, yeah, right, whatever. And he's like, hey, how would you guys like to do a song with me? And I'm like, hell yeah. So he goes, get the song together. I'll fly you out tomorrow. So basically, I'm like, what? And then so basically we finished the song within 2 days. He got us tickets. We flew out to his house. Got patted down by security guards with AK-47s.
Yeah, all the security guards in the videos are real. Like that's legit.
Everything in that video is legit real, bro. Like nothing staged. That's what have we.
That's his lifestyle, yeah.
His lifestyle, man. He's real. He lives what he speaks. And we walk in there, and he starts. The first thing he does, we introduce to everybody, and he grabs me. Would you like a coffee? I'm like, yeah, sure. He gives me a coffee and starts pouring freaking Jack Daniels or something into it. Like 200-year-old Jack Daniels.
Yeah, nice.
It's like three parts to one alcohol, so we get shit faced. Like the
first night we get there.
First night we're just hanging out with him all night, and we're just talking and shooting the shit, and we got really trashed, and then we did the whole video in like 2 days, fully off the fly. We didn't have anything planned. We brought out our nephew from Costa Rica, and he did all the video for us, so we didn't have anything planned. I was hungover as hell. If you can see my eyes in the beginning of that video. That's me the next morning after being hungover.
Still probably drunk.
Still drunk, yeah.
So were you guys worried or anything? I know this was like a point in time where he was, pretty much a hot topic, and it was only getting hotter to the point where now he's kind of on the run from the U.S. Were you guys worried at all, like working with him in any way?
Man, hell no, man. We love this shit.
Yeah, same.
Dude, I'm not worried about nothing, man. Well, me and Kalani, we've been, we were touring musicians and played nationally for years. Like we were musicians on a pretty high level for probably about 8 years. So we've seen a lot of crazy stuff too in the music industry. And so it wasn't anything that crazy for me. I enjoy that kind of stuff.
Yeah, man.
Well, I mean, anything off the video that happened or took place? I'm just curious of what it was like hanging out there and stuff, guys.
No, it was. I mean, it was pretty cool, man. He would come down and give us his time. He was real busy. He was always doing things, right? He lived in this big mansion, and he'd basically come down and say, "Okay, guys, you have 3 hours of my time. Tell me what to do." And he was open for anything. He wasn't afraid to do anything we said. He's like, I don't give a fuck. You can make fun of me. You can tease me. You can do whatever you like. Drink whatever you guys want. He was real open with everything in his house. He had guys walking around with AK-47s, literally like 3 or 4 security guards at all times, armed.
Yeah, 24/7.
But they were all cool. I ended up getting wasted with them too. They were all
Same. He brought a couple of his bodyguards with him to Barcelona, and when I was in Spain hanging out with him and Janice, they had their bodyguards there, and I ended up getting trashed with the bodyguards more than John and them because, like, it's funny because like he does keep really high classified like marine type fucking protection at all times, but he also makes sure that they're real dudes that are chill and like fucking guys that we can all get around and party down with while protecting him.
Yeah, with McAfee, you got to be a certain type of guy to hang out with him. He's a real open guy, and he's a great guy, man.
Did you see his Adult Swim interview? After that interview, bro, I just had so much more respect for the man.
Yeah. He's hilarious, man, and he's the type of guy that will stick to what he says. Everything he said to us.
So do you think he's going to eat his dick?
I doubt he'll do that, but someone.
Well, you went from a successful Divi exit to working with these guys. What has that transition been like for you in this space?
It's been good, man. Luckily, I feel like we got in at like just at the right time doing that, and I went as far as I could with that company. And I basically cashed out. So I don't really work on operations with them anymore, but I am one of the original founders of that platform. It's been cool. I've been able to parlay that into other stuff that I'm a little bit more passionate about. I kind of want to work in the more of the influencer side of crypto and that's why we started Toon Trade.
Yeah, I really like. I want to dive into that. I really like the
Yeah.
concept of it. It's super ingenious. But I do want to shout out Divi Project, and thank you because they're actually one of the sponsors of the podcast here. So, big shout out to Nick and everybody over there at Divi Project. I got to hang out with them at the after party in Vegas, and it was pretty lit. So shout out to, I think it was Concierge that helped organize that after party at Goat. But bro, we got down in Vegas.
Dude, there's some crazy crypto after parties. Some of these companies throw some good ones. Like I was at LA Blockchain Week, and eToro threw like such a good after party at the top of this high-rise suite. Had all the food catered, open bar for like everyone from the convention. It's pretty cool, man. It's nice when they open up the checkbooks and they're like, "Hey, everyone, just go party."
Yeah, but isn't that sort of like the investors seeing them using their ICO money to throw a party in Vegas? Because that's sort of what I look at it as, that, right? Like if I was the investor seeing this company throw what looks to be a $10,000 to $20,000 after party, are they looking at a $30,000 ROI on this, or is it just money being burnt? And it's always money being burnt at these parties. There's no networking.
Brand awareness, man.
Yeah, brand awareness for sure.
So it's pretty funny. Yeah, it's like nobody really talks about that, but I mean, I guess as much as in this industry, like we don't have to go too much into it, but as much as it's important to have a good backstory and have good development and all that kind of stuff, I think a lot of the things that projects forget to do is they forget to be really good on the marketing and really put themselves out there. Because let's be honest, half of these projects are boring as fuck, man.
Yeah, you know how many people I run into that have issues with their master nodes and stakings, and it kind of turns them off. And they've been in this space for fucking ever, and they don't know about the Divi project. And I turn them onto it, and they're just like, "Oh shit, this is like Amazon one-click purchase shit." I'm like, "Yeah, dude, it gets easier," and it goes to a long way of that brand awareness, where a lot of people, if they don't know that your project exists, even though how great the service is, they won't be able to utilize it.
Yeah, that's why what we've been doing recently is we've just been talking to as many people as we can, getting on as many podcasts, just putting ourselves out there as people behind our project, rather than just some shit people can read on like a
piece of
it's not actually your face.
Well, Jesse, why don't you jump in and tell us a little bit about Toon Trade?
Well, Toon Trade, man, like I said, we were all creators here, so they're musicians, and then we have some family who are influencers and stuff. So we decided to make something for all of us, and this is kind of what we thought of. We've been working on it for a year now, and I think it's going to be great for influencers and creators out there. It's kind of like another tool for them to use out there. So it's not competing with anybody, but it is going to be something that they can utilize in the future. You know what I mean? So there's token creations on there and stuff, and I think in the future people are going to say, not have you, or do you have a token? It's why don't you have a token, right? So I think it's going to be a cool thing.
So basically, the basis in a nutshell, I'll tell a little bit about our platform. I mean, it's an entire suite of tools for creators to kind of quantify their brand, but we basically have like a listing on the front of our site where people can kind of go in depth on the artists, kind of learn about them. All the APIs are linked into their profiling, so we're big on user profiling. There's coin creation, then we also have a decentralized exchange built into our platform. So you have all three of those things in one place. It's pretty cool, man.
This is sort of the go on that topic when everyone was like, during the ICO boom, everybody was bringing this up, and I thought it was an awesome analogy. But they're like, what if Justin Bieber created his own token? Well, shit, people would have went fucking nuts.
Yeah,
exactly.
Dude, it's pretty cool, man. Like, what we've done is we've really just spent a lot of time developing it before we've and right now we're just giving people like live demos, and we're about to launch like some beta testing. But it's really cool, man. Like, it's the easiest coin creation. It's literally, we've made it so that you don't even really have to know much about crypto. You can literally go on our site in like 5 minutes. You can create a coin. You can have your own profile, be listed, and then you can learn how to trade right on our site. It's pretty cool.
Are these coins broken down to like decimals, or do you have to have like a 110?
ERC20s.
Okay,
ERC20. But we're also it's also been coded to be multi-chain compatible, so that we'll be able to launch it on different chains as well.
So are you looking at ERC 721s as well?
Yes, because there's the kind of metadata and stuff that you can put on there is really good for that. Especially that'll work out for creators and influencers a lot.
Yeah, and we're thinking of this on an individual level, and maybe we'll dive. I want to dive later into like institutions using this as well, like brand loyalty and brand rewards from places like McDonald's, as well as individuals like my own little podcast here can utilize this technology.
Yeah, exactly. So one of the things that we're really excited about, that we're in the middle of developing, is we have a consumer-facing app that's part of our ecosystem called FanFind. And basically what it is creators can literally, it's an augmented reality app, kind of like Pokemon Go, and creators can literally do virtual scavenger hunts. So for instance, let's say Marshmallow rolls into town and he says, hey, in between 4th and Broadway, I'm leaving this coin. Whoever finds this gets backstage tickets to my show. So now what you're doing is you're using your fan base and your influence to bring them over to our platform, and you're causing virtual scavenger hunts. And what you're doing is you're giving end-to-end value, because people are going to want what you're offering, and the exclusivity that the artist offers, and it's kind of end-to-end the engagement. So
And
also,
and then artists can monetize that
Exactly.
opportunity as well, saying, "Hey, I could drop this token at your business and tell people
Exactly.
they have to show up here, and now you can monetize that. You can get paid by models or whatever if you got shoes that are being
check this
released
out.
there.
That's a great way to do it. And here's another thing: what gives it the 360 payout is the fan or that does find that token, you can go directly to our exchange. You can sell that token. You can trade it. There's going to be, if Marshmallow makes 100 tokens, it's scarce. 100 kids get it. There's going to be some of those kids that want to sell that token. There's going to be 10 million kids that want it. So that token alone could be worth massive amounts of money. The value can shoot through the roof. It's all about supply and demand and what people want, right? So it gives artists and fans equal opportunity to benefit.
And there's more creativity for utility behind the token as well, because it could be redeemable for just this concert, or it could be a lifelong ticket.
Yeah,
Say, anytime you want to redeem this token, you can come to a concert. So now you have a ticket to any concert you ever want to go to, and you just have to redeem that token to get to it.
Yeah, and here's another cool thing too, is it's not just for the big artist, right, or the fan. It's for the up and coming artists, people that want to be discovered. So we've made the platform extremely easy to look at. Easy to use, the functionality. We understand that a lot of people that come in from a creator side or like musicians, they might not know too much about crypto, right? So it has to be as inviting as possible. And we wanted to really make sure with the development, we've actually redeveloped 3 times because we want to make it as nice to look at and easy to use as possible.
There's some centralized institutional services that sort of do things like this. Like if you watch on YouTube, you can go and do a super chat, or you can buy a sticker or send a sticker. And there's other things like on Twitch, you can get these emojis and stuff. So they're sort of trying to figure out a way to tokenize these incentives to if you send me a reward, I can send you a reward back.
Mm-hmm. So if I can, am I able to share my screen? I can just give a little preview.
You should be able to, yeah.
What it looks like. I'll show you guys. Here we go.
Another
the cool thing is, go ahead. No, I was just going to talk about like what the token creation too. Like you can have big companies using these token creations as well, because we have other apps that we've developed to help kind of the thing. So we have like a token scheduler. So now let's say, for the holidays like now, these big companies like Johnson & Johnson or something, create these tokens, and they're like, we just dispersed all these tokens on this app. If you find 10 of these tokens, you get an extra 10% off of whatever the holiday is, you know what I mean? So now you have all these people looking around for all these tokens.
Yeah, it's like a Groupon. It's like a scavenger hunt / Groupon.
Exactly.
For that.
And one thing for to get a lot of users on too is, anytime you see your favorite influencer or artist or creator doing something, fans are going to want to do the exact same thing. They're going to want to learn about it. They're going to want to copy their favorite influencer fan. So we've made it extremely cheap too. So when you come to our site to create tokens, for pretty much pennies on the dollar, is the cheapest, easiest way to create your own token. So we want to make it accessible for everybody, but be usable by everyone too.
Here, let me give you a little preview of the screenshots.
Yep.
There we go.
Can
you guys see that?
Yep.
All right, cool. Yeah, so this is kind of like the gist of what our platform looks like. The listing is, we wanted to go with a very visual kind of thing. So we went with like a Pinterest type of format for the profiling. So people can kind of like take a look at like their artists, and then it can show where the coin's at. And then it has all their socials linked. We have like in-depth coin analytics. We have KYC built into it. And then the token creation is the simplest token creation you'll find on the market. Literally, you can create a token in 5 minutes with us. Really, really cool.
I've created a few tokens because I've had like this kind of concept of an idea myself as an individual, but it was never put on like a platform level scale. But I've created like my own Waves token. I've created my own Steam token. I created my own Ethereum NFT and my own ERC token. And it is a pain in the ass to do this on your own, and things go wrong, and then smart contracts don't send the tokens to, and it just, now you have to rename it because the symbol's already been taken because you're an idiot.
I mean, and that's the thing too, is that we really wanted to do is we wanted to hide as much of the hard, like, because we really feel like there's a huge wave of millennials that are coming. You know, like when this shit booms again, there's going to be a huge wave of millennials that are going to need to learn crypto, and you know how it is with crypto, man. It's like almost like sometimes people, they have the ability to understand it, but it's almost like they have a wall put up, and it's almost like a fear. You know what I mean? So like we really feel like adoption. I know everyone says, oh, the key to adoption. We really feel like the key to adoption is familiarity and ease, right? So if things are easy for people to take in, there's more of a chance of them staying there and playing around.
100%. And we also want to gamify it as much as possible, right? To get people interested, you have to give them a reason to be interested. We have things, we're going to implement things like a check mark to make sure that you're verified. So you can't just create a bunch of bullshit coins, to make sure, and it has to be verified through us.
Right, because what's stopping me from, creating a marshmallow token and pretending?
Yeah, so we do that for every token creation. There's a KYC in our platform.
KYC. We've thought all these things through. Because we were musicians for 10 years. We understand how important it is, to build a fan base. A lot of times that's more important than the monetary value. People to follow your brand and what you're selling. That's to a lot of artists that are up and coming. That's even more important than money.
Yeah, and you mentioned some, metadata and stuff earlier, and there's a lot of data that can be utilized in this from a branding perspective. If a fan of mine is holding one of my tokens, I can see that address on a public ledger. I can then at some point take that information and go, well, I know that they follow me. I know that they hold one of my tokens. I could create a completely new token and airdrop it to those holders. Now incentivizing, more people to hold that token as well. Maybe if I'm Marshmallow, maybe the airdrops for a pop-up concert that nobody knows about that's underground. So the only way to get that ticket was to already be a ticket holder.
Yeah, exactly.
Yep, exactly.
And that's the beauty of blockchain, right? So all of that stuff is accessible, and I think that's going to be the part that a little bit more down the line. Our goal is just to get people having fun creating coins at first, and then we're going to kind of dive a little bit deeper into that, because we're nerds. We love this shit, but somebody who's just kind of getting involved, there's a little bit of a barrier to entry right there,
And I think one thing that we are going to focus on a lot with this is the education aspect. We're going to have a tutorial section. So we're going to walk people by each individual way of how do you create a token, how you get listed, why you would want to, use cases, things to really kind of give people that little jump start to understand it a lot better. Because we're all content creators. We're all YouTube. We do YouTube. We're musicians. So we understand how important teaching people is.
Well, let's get into the financial technical difficulties then here, guys, because we're talking about these ERC tokens, and that costs gas. That might be a deterrent from somebody like Marshmallow from utilizing it, because it's going to cost him money just to send these out every time he wants to reward somebody with a token. He's going to have ETH in a smart contract to cover the gas, and that's money. So is this something that could be a disincentive, or is this something like with legacy rewards is already there with these fees and things?
Yeah, I mean, I think that the reason why we chose Ethereum is because it's the most widely used blockchain as far as like smart contracts and stuff like that. I would say the way that our platform is built is everything is run on our native token. So in order to do things, you need to have our token, but we're making it really easy for people to acquire that on our platform. I mean, it's something that, is challenging in the blockchain industry. It really is, but there's different ways. There's different ways people can go about it. And I mean,
sponsored transactions is really interesting, but most people don't really go down that road with Ethereum right now. But I know I've seen it recently with the Waves network, where if you wanted to send a token, you could use your own token as the fee, because you're basically buying it back at the cost of the gas, which establishes a value, because the transaction fee is a cost of, and establishes a value. So just the cost of sending that token is being bought by the Ethereum smart contract in its own token name to pay for the gas, gives it more value.
And a lot of times too is, it depends on what you're offering with your token also too, to give it value, right? So, you could be a guy that's just offering something that nobody wants, but you could also be a Marshmallow or an up and coming artist that's making something really exclusive. And then, the value of it, it's there. You can pretty much, you kind of leave it up to the fans, but who knows? And another cool thing about ERC20 tokens is, if it is, let's just say hypothetically, it is a Marshmallow token, that token can be picked up and put on every exchange possible. So now all of a sudden that Marshmallow token's on Binance,
I mean, because listen, let's not kid ourselves. If there's a token that has liquidity, that's being used that has a people behind it using it, exchanges right now, the state of crypto, they're gonna want that coin on their exchange. You know what I mean?
Yep.
And I think that if they see that there's a real person behind it or somebody that has a movement behind it, that's what exchanges care about.
Well,
Right?
unfortunately, exchanges care about listing fees. I
Yeah.
wish you were right. I wish we lived in a world to where if there was volume and utility, that an exchange would be like happy to list a coin.
Yeah, we
But-
know the listing fee
But
game.
they don't give a shit about how many people use your coin if you're not willing to pay that border to entry fee to get
Exactly,
listed. And then you have the potential of 2 years later that exchange exiting like Upbit did to all these, or being delisted just because they're complying to some bullshit terms and
Well,
regulations.
that
like
happened
look
to
at
us.
Poloniex. Poloniex delisted a fuck ton of coins after they paid to get
Well,
listed.
this is all one main reason why we built in our own decentralized exchange into our platform to where people can go and trade your token right away. And
Is
you
there
know,
like
you
an
don't-
open API for that? Because if somebody did create their own token, they could use that and build their own exchange on top of yours, so you don't ever have to leave kenbozak.com or marshmallow.com. If you got them, you can just go to the decentralized exchange, but it's like an API skin of yours.
Yeah, there actually is. Our dev team, we have a really cool dev team. We have an international dev team where they do a lot of our development, and then we have a couple guys in the States, but they actually were talking about that. They were talking about implementing that. We're not there yet, but that's something that we've definitely talked about implementing in the future.
Yeah, because I could definitely see who would need to have an exchange list them when the reason you're utilizing it has the exchange right there, right? Like, if it has all those users and volume and they're most likely visiting, marshmallow.com or whatever, they don't have to leave to trade them. They can stay right there on the place that actually attracted them to begin with.
That's kind of the same purpose of our site too, right? Because you have your profile with all the socials are built into the profile, the profiling, and then we have the exchange built in right there on our platform. So we're feeling like we're going to get a lot of user retention because there's more than just one use case for our platform, right? We have scheduling tools. We have a live streaming.
So you could do, because I was doing this with my Steam token. Basically, I created like 420 Ken coins on the Steam blockchain. And was like, look, if you want to do an hour of consultation, go buy my token, send it to me, and you can schedule a consultation. And it was me trying to tokenize my services per hour. Mm-hmm. 1 token equals 1 hour of consultation. And, it's just a outside the box, use case of the technology, but it was just me playing around. And when you look at actual like celebrities or actual corporations that could utilize this in that way, the individual tokenization, that personal tokenization, it means a lot more than people perceive it to, because it can't be applied today. But 20 years from now, when you have a blockchain resume, it's going to matter.
Well, absolutely. And another thing too is like, think about this just from like a really basic kind of level looking at it. You have your Facebook, you have your Twitter, you have your YouTube, you have all these things where you're building followers, right? But if YouTube shuts down or Facebook shuts down, you lose all that. You don't really own that, right? When you create your own coin, you quantify your brand. You know what I mean? And I feel like once creators understand that they can do this really, really simply, and they can understand the value of it, I think that it's going to lend itself to creative ideas on how they're going to use their coins. You know what I mean? Like, I think that's kind of the essence of what we started.
Well, let me get a perspective of where each one of you see this going, and one by one, let me know where you as uniquely see this taking off as a use case. Like, individual, the tokenization, the utility. Like, where do you see it? One could cover like media, genre, the consulting, whatever. Just curious where you see this actually being utilized by the end users, both the person who's tokenizing it and the person that's actually using that token.
So I think it's our platform is going to turn into something more of like a social thing, like, because you can go and create your own profile, you can add your own, just like you would Facebook or Instagram or anything else, upload content and stuff, and then and it's going to be, like we said, we're going to gamify it in a way so people want to come back. So if I think millennials are going to be the ones that really connect to it more, and when influencers catch on, it's going to be just another social platform.
Well, yeah, I mean, imagine if an influencer says, if you want me to promote your brand, you have to pay me in my own token, which means you have to go to the exchange, buy my token from me, and then pay me with it.
Yeah,
exactly.
I think it's going to be just another tool that everybody that wants to be a creator or artist is going to have in their arsenal. It's going to be, you're going to have your YouTube, you're going to have your SoundCloud, and we're not competing with any of those. It's going to be another thing that, why don't you have this, your own token? Why don't you have that? You should have that if you're trying to make it in this game. as a creator or an influencer, why aren't you going and getting your favorite artist's coin? It's going to just be another thing in your arsenal that you kind of need to have.
That's an interesting thing you say there, because I talk to a lot of influencers in this space, or crypto personalities that are pretty prominent, and they have yet to even attempt to create their own token just out of the educational process. And I'm like, you don't see the monetary aspect of this? Like,
But
what are you missing?
it's like I said earlier, right? I said like it's all about education. Once a few people get it and people start using it, it explodes and it's exponential. So it's all about teaching people, making it easy and fun, and then it takes on a life of its own. And then everybody understands it. Okay, why didn't I do this? I got to get on this.
We got to get you guys a seat with fucking Ninja so he can tokenize his fan base, because like he uses these stickers and all this bullshit centralized shit, and like, bro, just create your own token and get on with it.
Yeah, I think honestly, gamers are going to be huge when it comes to our platform, because they're the ones that get the technology the most. You know what I mean? That's what they're using. So
well, here's something that I was saying too, man. Is it's not just for the gamer, the musician. This is anybody that has something to offer can create a token. So you could be a painter, you can be somebody who does plants, anything. And a lot of people don't have a platform, right? Like musicians have a million platforms. YouTube, you can be a content creator, but there's a lot of people that don't have platforms to get their product out, to be discovered. And this is a platform that anybody can come and create a token, and it's up to you.
Well, you touched on something really important there, man. You call yourselves Tune Trade, which is sort of kind of centralizing your bottleneck towards the music industry, right?
Well, actually, no. It's actually tune trade, like tuning up your trade. Tuning up your trade. Like
I get what you're saying. We when we first started it, we were kind of gauging it towards musicians and stuff at first, also because that's what we are. We come from that background, and then we quickly realized that, dude, this thing is so much bigger than that.
Yeah, I think streamers, I don't care what industry the streamer is in, but I think this is going to be really big for streamers. Maybe more so than physical musicians, because they're not digitally doing conversations or business economically as much, right? They're on stage in physical, reality, saying, hey, go now do this, rather than I'm just talking to my audience on a digital platform anyway, so they're already at their computer, they can go and do this.
Yeah, and we're really excited too, because we're going to be doing the beta testing here soon, and we're gonna let a bunch of people do it. We're gonna give out access to a ton of people to start beta testing. Yeah, we're really close, man. We've pretty much been building for over a year. The platform's almost there. Like we are almost ready to go, which is a lot more than most people can say.
Are you working with any celebrities or anything? Anybody that can you talk about anybody that you're working with helping them tokenize?
One of our guys is a big part of the team. He's an agent at United Talent Agency. So basically, he has access to all these artists at United Talent Agency. We have some pretty big guys with like millions of followers but we don't want them to use it yet until we're ready. And there's no kinks in the platform, right? We're still doing a lot of testing and stuff. So right now we're kind of just letting people know about it, letting people get the idea. We're going to do the beta testing, and then we're going to call on the bigger guys once we're ready to launch.
We'll do our marketing push for sure. We're going to have a lot of, we're going to get people with names out there using it. And we want to do that, but we also want to make it extremely friendly for the up and coming artists too. The small guy.
Yeah, you don't want to intimidate the independent creators, because that's what a lot of platforms do. Like,
it's almost more important, man. I mean, there's so many celebrities, but there's millions and millions of people that are trying to find ways to make it in the industry.
And I mean, a Justin Bieber coin today would not be as valuable as a Justin Bieber coin before like Usher found him.
Yeah, totally. And the thing is too is like those big guys that use it, they're gonna cause people to use it as well. But we're gonna need that core initial user base that's trying it, that's using it, and then they can kind of give us information on which way we should go. Because if you don't listen to the people using your platform, you're in the wrong business. You need to listen to what people say, take that information, and then kind of improve on it.
I can't tell you how many projects I was an end user of that did like free bug report, and they just didn't listen, so I kind of left. And I've seen where a lot of those projects ended up, and it wasn't just because they didn't listen to me. They didn't listen to any fucking buddy. And a lot of people, you talk to at these crypto conferences, they're building something for themselves. That's really what it comes down to. They're not building it for anybody outside of their own little bubble and their own little team. And a lot of the times is if you're outside of that bubble and outside of that team, you see a use case for that project that can be exponentially increase the volume of its use, but they don't want to apply that. And I think, I talked to the Monero team about like why they don't want to be known as like the cannabis coin, because privacy and drugs, but they don't want to be the drug coin. Well, that's your fault because that's what you are. So
Yeah, exactly.
And, you know, we come from the
You're the
background
drug
of,
coin and the tax evading coin.
exactly. So why don't you promote the shit out of what you're actually used for?
Yeah, don't want to deal with the IRS? Get some Monero.
Exactly. Do it. That's financial advice.
yeah. Well, you know, we come from the background of guys that had to grind our way up to the top and use whatever we could to get fans, and like you have to use social media and you have to do all these things to just claw your way to the top. And we come from that background, being musicians and actually making it pretty far in the music industry. So we understand how important it is to really make it accessible for everybody and to help.
Well, I thought, I looked at this and, we had a little reschedule from like the noon Eastern to noon your time zone. So I had some time to really look into the project. And I usually don't do that. I like random, spontaneous conversations. I really don't. My podcast is not planned. Anybody can schedule a day to come on. And I usually just dive into it and have fun. But I was looking at the platform and I thought that it would be a really interesting like way to see sort of like a GoFundMe or a Patreon or a Kickstarter type of series being ran on there where a musician that you see on like the street of Vegas with a really shitty guitar, but they're so fucking good.
Yeah.
I would love to invest in them and help them get famous, but how do I monetize that? And this is a way for artists or anybody that's like, even if you want to go to school to be an electrician, you could tokenize that GoFundMe with saying, hey, if you have one of these tokens, X amount of them are worth hours of labor as me being an electrician or something. And now you can start to use this concept to really raise yourself as an individual because your community wants to see you get there.
Exactly. See, you get it, dude.
That's any better.
Hey, you start tomorrow, Ken.
The reason I mentioned consulting is I do a lot of people don't realize it, and I know I come off like a silly stoner, but I do consult for probably a dozen different blockchain companies. That's how I managed not to go to a real job. I know people think I'm a little bit out there, but it's because I'm out there. I see the things like this, and I do get to consult with projects like with Toon Trade. Like this is an amazing project. Like I can see the vision of it, and the best part is I actually don't think I can see where it can go. Like a lot of times I'll see a project, I can see the end, the fucking brick road that the wall they're gonna hit on that shiny road they're on. And I don't see Toon Trade's brick wall down that road. I mean, I feel like you guys could take what Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, and all these have done and combine it with the power of Patreon, GoFundMe, and then create something totally different that we have yet to perceive as a social economic standpoint.
Well, you know, another thing too, that like if you strip it down as well, because we have the listing, right? So like let's strip it down, right? Our main thing when you go to the front page, it's a listing, so you're seeing all the artists, right? So you can kind of look at that as kind of like an artist's coin market cap, right? And then we also have the coin creation. Then we have the decentralized exchange. In a very simple form, we're literally, it's an on-ramp to people that don't know how to use crypto in a really
and they don't
way.
even care about crypto. That's the important part. They don't care. It's not this isn't a trader's market. This isn't for volatility or speculation. This is for true utility. They only care about the use case.
Exactly. And that's why we really put a lot of work into developing this augmented reality app to onboard people too, because you know, a lot of people that are getting involved in trying to create a coin or are you going to be interested in it, you got to give them a reason and kind of gamify it in a way to where they say, hey, let's go get some coins.
Have you guys played with air coins? Because I know John McAfee plays around with that a lot.
Yeah.
And I actually got to play air coins with John in Barcelona, which was fucking corny, but like really fun. Walking around trying to find shit coins with John McAfee.
Yeah, well, check this out. This is the cool thing about it. With our developers, where you can pinpoint to the exact location where you want to put that token. So it's not like the air coins, a lot of it's just kind of random. They'll just kind of randomly pop up, right? So this is your pinpoint accuracy. So you could put it on, you know, the corner of a street at an exact place. You can drop a pin, and that's where your coin's going to be. So it's a real true scavenger hunt.
For me, I look at using this as a meetup incentive. Like, hey, I'm going to do a meetup. It's sponsored by Divi Project. There'll be random Divi coins airdropped around the meetup. Come on and hang out, guys. And now there's an incentive to come out and actually participate in the meetup.
Check this out. Imagine if you're a musician, and I know this firsthand, the hardest thing when you're an up-and-coming musician is to get people to your show and to show up.
Yeah.
So if you're going to give coins or whatever, and they're going to be at the venue, and the only way to get these tokens that you can get this, and this for is to show up to my show. That is one of the most important tools for an up-and-coming artist. And that once that starts working for an artist or two, and they see it, best believe every single up-and-coming artist is going to start dropping their coins, offering T-shirts with the coin. offering
Well,
us.
imagine cross promotional acceptance where I'm a pizza store and you're a bar. So if you have a bar token, you can get a slice of pizza. If you have a pizza token, you can get a pint of beer. Because there's a lot of this happening today where like Google Ads and all these marketing solutions don't really cater so much to the small businesses. So now they have to group together. Now they have these like communal group efforts for brand and loyalty and rewarding that by saying if you're a business, if you come to this business, you get rewarded at this one, and this one because you know we're a community of small businesses, and I can see this tokenized aspects like in that way as well with musicians.
And Scarecrow's returning right now. He sees all the possibilities. It's awesome.
Yeah. So the thing is we have a lot of this stuff roadmapped out to like 2022, and the cool thing about this platform, man, obviously we really believe in it. We put all our time and effort into it. Is that there's so many add-ons and so many extra features that can be built into it as it grows, you know what I mean? Like, and we best believe we plan on implementing all the best things that are working and pop culture is using in social media into our platform as we grow and as we kind of start onboarding more and more users. But our first thing was we wanted to develop something, so we just kind of stuck our heads down, developed the hell out of it. Rather than telling people what we're gonna do, we literally put the money in to develop it.
I'll be honest. I didn't hear about you guys till you scheduled the podcast, and I know you guys, but I didn't know about Toon Trade. And I've been having conversations about tech like this for a few months now, and I was like waiting to see a platform kind of start up. And I'm wondering, how are you monetizing this? How does Toon Trade make money out of producing the services?
So we have some really cool. So anytime there's a transaction on our DEX, we take a little fee, just like any other exchange. But that's in the native. People have to use our native token to do it.
Okay.
To create a profile, you're gonna have to. It's gonna cost a little money to create a profile. To create a token, it costs you a little bit of money. To use any of our surrounding applications, like our token scheduler, things like that, there's going to be a small fee, but it's all going to be affordable. It's going to be extremely affordable for everybody.
And this is no different than like legacy services for like I mentioned these stickers and like Stream Elements and Stream Labs where like they have the overlay alerts for YouTubers. It all costs money at that level.
So for instance, just to give some perspective, for instance, like if you go to Wish, right, to create your own coin over there, it'll cost you around $100, $80 maybe at Wish. To create a coin on our platform and to have your own profile is going to be somewhere around $8 to $9.
Okay.
Worth USD. So like we're going to keep it really affordable.
Like the Netflix affordable level of tokenization.
Yeah, exactly. And then we're also thinking about doing a subscription service for all of our tools, so people can just use like they can just pay like a monthly fee for, all the access.
See, now you're talking about this, and that made me think of producers as well. Now I could just be a producer that creates coins for these celebrities or influencers. So I might not be a celebrity or an influencer, and I know a couple. They're not tech savvy or they don't feel like doing this, which is why a lot of business jobs get delegated out of the industry, and you see a lot of middlemen, is because the artist or whoever doesn't want to do it themselves.
Exactly. So check it out. So let's say you're a consulting company, right? And people need coins created. You pay a subscription fee to us once a month. You can create as many coins as you want on our platform, right?
So this is where production labels get involved. You see production crew get involved, like producers and shit.
Yeah, man. It's more than just a platform. It's a tool. Like you can use it however you want. You can just create the coins and just take them off our platform. Well, you don't have to leave them there.
Let's talk about the elephant in the room, which is regulations and laws and things, and taxation. Talking about creating currency, isn't there a concern at some level of it not being a utility and it could be considered a security? In that sense where I was talking about raising funds and kind of crowdsourcing and stuff, like there's a level of security meets utility, and then regulations gets involved, and then we have what if this marshmallow token takes off and he has to worry about the taxation of it because of the volatility.
Well, the way it works with anything is people nowadays, they know they have to be compliant, right? If they're going to do something at a large scale and they're trying to do it like that, you have to be compliant. But we have KYC built into our platform, so we're not going to approve anybody. The one thing is like you can come to our platform and make a profile, right? So you can do all that, but if you're going to create a coin, you have to run through our KYC and our terms of service. We have all that taken care of, and then the space is changing, and there's a lot of like the rules and everything are changing so fast. We have our legal team on it, and they kind of push us in the right direction. But we definitely have very clear terms when anyone comes to our platform to use our platform. So we have a really long sheet of all the different terms when you come to our site. So that's first and foremost. And it would be silly to think that we could keep tabs on every single coin as far as like what people are doing with it, but there is going to be guidelines on what you can do with your coin and what you should do. And we don't hold responsibility for someone, because anyone can make a coin on the internet. You see what I'm saying? But we don't hold responsibility farther than a certain point with it, basically. I mean, it's a little bit more in depth with that in the
Yeah, I was gonna say the difference between making a coin on the internet and making a coin on ToonTrade is you guys are behind the ability of the technology and the information that made it possible, so you could be held liable at that level until you implement the KYC and say the liability is now on you, the creator.
Yeah, we will absolutely have all that figured out before launch. We will not be liable for any nonsense you guys want to do.
Because I mean, that's the first. You know this damn well as me that the first people that will utilize your platform are going to be bad actors, malicious users, and people that just have how do I break this in mind, right? Like that's the first thought of almost anybody in this industry that utilizes the platform.
At the end of the day, too, it is cryptocurrency. It's decentralized. There's a lot of decentralization that goes in with it, but we're going to make sure that if you want to be verified, you're going to have to go through us. So anybody can make a bullshit coin. You can go and print up a bunch of fake $100 bills and try to give them to people and get money for it at the bank, but it's probably not going to work.
Do the KYC. Nobody.
Yeah, you got to go through the KYC. You got to be verified by us if you want a check mark. We're going to do everything in our power to make it as legit as possible. You're always going to have people that want to come and game the system and do
those out. Like if we see somebody that we have a whole back end dashboard where we can literally go through each coin that's created and we can see, and they have to submit certain things to us so we know who everyone is. So, I mean, we're taking really good steps on precaution as far as that goes.
We want this to be as legitimate as possible, man. We want to make this something that people can come to, and it just really helps benefit every artist and creator. We're gonna steer it in that direction. We'll see though, and that's another thing too, is we like you said, we have all these ideas for what this is, but every time we talk to somebody, like we're talking to you, you just gave us like 3 more ideas.
just throw me on the website as an advisor. It's fine.
Hey, man. But that's what I'm saying. Like people, their wheels start spinning, right? Because it's pretty much endless. There's no ceiling to what you can do when you understand the value of having your own coin and what you can offer with it and what your fans can benefit. Like once those wheels start turning, who knows what direction it's going to go and what's going to really take off, right?
Right, and I would love to see this integrated into other social platforms as well, like Steam it or SoMe or whatever, Float, fucking Facebook, Twitter. When you go to these social media platforms, you can see that that there's a tab page right there for tokens.
Yeah. Hey, man, next time you're in Vegas, man, you got to be in our next music video, bro. You got to come in and that shit.
Dude, next time I was gonna come to Vegas for New Year's, but I think I have to cancel that. But I do go to Vegas every year for World CryptoCon. And
we'll plan something out, man. We'll write something funny and just do like a quick little video, man. It'd be fun.
Well, there is a chance I'll be in Vegas for the AVNs, the porn awards.
We know.
Yeah, I know enough people in the industry that if they end up going, I might go. Because sort of like crypto conferences, I go to the conferences to hang out with that digital family, and I have a adult content digital family as well as a crypto digital family, and I like to see them in real life. And conferences, it's like reunions.
They're fun to see in real life.
Yeah, especially that industry. Way more fun than crypto conferences. Their shit coins are way more shitty.
So, yeah, man. I mean, we really appreciate you giving us the time to kind of share our platform and just shoot the shit. And like one thing that we do want people to know is like we're out here, we're open, and we're just kind of just spreading the word of what we're doing. So, I mean, this has been really cool to come on here.
So how I want to get into the token. Like, how do I get my hands on this token? Are you doing like a KYC, like ICO, secure? Like, how are you issuing this token to raise money for the platform? Or like, I'm just curious, like, how do I get my hands on like your token?
Tao, you can jump on that.
Well, we're gonna give you some token, bro. Don't worry about that. We're gonna give you some, but
that's influencer clout, bitch.
Yeah, we got you. We're not doing an ICO. We've pretty much bootstrapped, man. We've put a lot of our own money and time and effort into this project, building it, right? We are still definitely we're right now actively looking for some extra funding and stuff to really get this thing to take off. Kind of on a private end type of thing. Like,
Are you looking? Are you thinking of going as like a private, or are you thinking of going public so people can get stock in the business?
Well, we're thinking about selling a little bit of equity of the company privately to somebody that wants to help out and join.
We don't want to bring anyone on that's not going to be there to really help this project blow up. Not just money thrown at us. We want people that are going to jump on and like be a part of this thing. And if they do come on board with some helping with funding, we want them to be a part of it.
We need like a fucking weekly crypto Shark Tank TV show, man.
Seriously, man. You know what's funny is we were talking about that like a year ago. We're like, dude, it'd be cool if you got a bunch of influencers and guys that are really smart in the industry to just sit down and have a Shark Tank.
Well, I mean, there's so much money that these projects spend on booths, marketing, and everything else that it would probably be cheaper to do that. And there's so many up and coming projects every week that you wouldn't run out of somebody to pitch an idea to you. I mean, I think something to that effect will happen at a very parody-esque level, like, and the parody will pick up in maybe Amazon original series, Crypto Shark Tank.
Yeah, totally.
Because they do it in Vegas. Did you guys see that one at World CryptoCon? They had the Shark Tank. Yeah, it was interesting. I think they did it last year. They did it this year too, and they're probably going to do it next year. But every year at World CryptoCon, they do a Shark Tank type of a thing, and every time I see it, I'm like, dude, we need this to be like a more mainstream thing because there's so much VC money being thrown around. That even if somebody invested in a project, that doesn't help with the marketing. But if you did it on a show like Crypto Shark Tank, that VC already has a return from the marketing level of it. That's why that's why Shark Tank, a lot of them invest in shit because they're like, well, even if you walk out the door, you're gonna make a lot of money because of the marketing you got from being on our show. So fine, we'll invest.
Speaking of VCs, I literally just hit up Adam Draper and I was like, dude, I want to show you this platform. And he hit me back and he's like, yeah, let's set up a meeting. So we have a meeting with him to show him the platform.
Draper, all right, so Adam, I met his dad multiple times. I've hung out with Tim. I've been to 7 conferences that Adam has been at, and I've missed him by 5 minutes every single conference.
He's like such a cool dude.
I've never got to hang out with the dude, but he does. He seems like one of the coolest fucking dudes in crypto.
Yeah,
like
I
legit.
like his ideas, and I like the way he talks about the whole crypto space.
Same, man. And his like legacy on his investments and his vision and his like fucking hindsight, dude. He's got so much foresight in this space, dude. It's like talking to a crystal ball. Like,
and that's what we were saying. When we lined up that he said, yeah, let's have a meeting. It's like he's the type of guy I would love to work with in whatever way possible. I like the way he looks at things and his vision, and guys like that. That's who we want to fuck with.
Yeah, and that's the people I want you fucking with too, because like that would be, and like him as an investor, also as an advisor, his vision. I mean. Dude, that would be amazing. So good luck on that.
He's probably got all kinds of analytics that could really help us like hone shit in, like because he's done so many successful startups.
And we are, man, and that's the thing. We are open to talking to. We want this thing to be a success, no matter what. We want to get the right people in play. We want this thing to blow up, and we want it to reach the heights we believe it can. So we are open to, to talk to anybody, to get any ideas, input. I'm sure some of the things you talked about today, I'm sure we're going to talk about implementing. And,
the problem that I think you're going to have, and which saddens me, is the excitement level in this space is so low. And it's because of a lot of projects that had people so excited, and then years later they just didn't come to fruition. And what we're seeing is a lot of investor fatigue in this space, and I think it's holding people back from even talking about projects like Toon Trade. Like, I have this thing right now. You can see it on my screen, guys. If you're looking, oneupcoin.com. If you send Bitcoin or Litecoin or like 50 different cryptos, it'll actually do like an on-screen overlay super chat. Like if you sent me $1 on YouTube, it has like an on-screen overlay. This project is fucking awesome. Like, you know how many YouTubers I know that talk about Bitcoin that accept fiat from YouTube super chats, and YouTube steals 30%.
That's funny. Yep, that's true.
Now you could have a Bitcoin super chat option, but nobody is accepting it. Nobody's really excited about it because of that fatigue I was talking about. And I think that you guys are actually too amazing because of that that aspect of people will just be kind of I think just turned off because of it, because of the fatigue. And I'm wondering like how you guys plan on kind of like battling that.
So one thing that we truly believe we and this is just all we can do is kind of push forward with our thoughts and our beliefs. But I truly believe that it's a race right now. I feel like it's a race for a blockchain platform that uses social media that has hit critical mass. It hasn't happened yet, right? So somebody's going to achieve it. And I really feel like culture drives adoption. And I think too many people steer away from the culture, and that's why they're not getting the adoption they want, right? You got to hit the culture, because culture is what drives everything, man. I mean, it's a simple thing. And that's kind of like our motto at Toon Trade is culture drives adoption. So we have all these ideas on how we want to be, we want to ingrain ourselves in the culture, and that's how you blow up. That's how a startup gets big, is when people are using it because it's cool, because they see stuff that's going viral about it, and their best influencers and their biggest people that they admire are using it. That's when you start getting the adoption from everyone else.
True, that's
So
true.
that's a huge thing for us.
It's sort of like the trend or fad ratio that people don't apply when they're looking at TA. They don't expect that fad or trend set to kick it off, and that's sort of what we're at, I think, now with Bitcoin. Like, we've seen the trend kind of start to be set by celebrities. Where, like, Kim Kardashian's posting Instagram saying, "Me and Kanye got into Bitcoin." She had like a physical Bitcoin, like, a physical piece of Bitcoin, which was really interesting. It was like a hardware wallet, cold storage device. And then you have like celebrities. I think it was like Katy Perry having her nails done in different cryptocurrencies.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah. So the fad and the trend is starting to set with it as that goes. And when it comes to like the community, the content community, is starting to embrace a lot of the centralized and legacy services that users are kind of doing in a decentralized way. But they're starting to see a lot of those paywalls, those 30% fees, and the issues that even if you wanted to send me a super chat, well, if you're unbanked and whatever, good luck. You can't even donate to me. But now whatever reason you want to send me a coin or buy one of my, you can. You don't. There's that border to entry isn't there anymore, and I think that's going to be an interesting like incentive as we see these content creators and like right now streaming isn't an industry. It's just starting to become one. So many people are like in college learning how to be content creators. Like that's a fucking college degree now. So it's just starting to become an industry where we're going to see a majority of like the millennials move into the job sector of content creating and streaming and influencing. And I think that micro influencing hasn't had its time to shine yet. Everybody looks at the macro level with like the Biebers and the Marshmallows, but it's really the micro influencing that has the most power. If I'm really popular in my town and I say that this pizza shop has shitty pizza, that means way more than a random celebrity saying that random pizza shop has shitty pizza.
100%. 100%. Facts. Big facts. That makes total and
the micro influencer, like you were talking about, like you have influencers on YouTube that don't do anything about crypto. Like if they're just like I have kids, right? I have two girls, so they watch a lot of these YouTube channels, and there's one girl named JoJo Siwa. She has stuff in Target and Walmart. There's that kid Ryan's Toy Review. They have stuff on there now. Like those are the guys that are going to be in stores now, not these celebrities anymore. It's
and that's YouTube celebrities. See, and you're talking about in store. That was 20 years ago to today. 20 years from today is they're tokenized on an exchange. They could care less about being on the store shelves because physical items will not be as I feel like not have as much appeal as a tokenized stable version of itself. So I could have a physical Funko Pop collectible, or I could have a tokenized version of it that's immutable to water damage, house fires, robbery. Why would I want a physical like right now on wax.io I have clothes, I have t-shirts, hats, shoes. I have fucking clothes that are tokenized that I can redeem for things to be sent to me in the mail and actually wear. But the reason I don't have physical Yeezys is because they might get damaged or ruined. I want to keep them tokenized.
Yeah, it's true. I mean, it's just the thing is the space. I know everyone says, "Oh, it's in its infancy." It really is, and the game is going to be so much different 3 years from now. And I just feel like things just happen. You know how like things happen and you don't even realize they're happening, and then all of a sudden it's here and everyone's doing it, right? Like, I'll give you an example, like stories on Instagram, right? That's what people watch more than anything now, and that started with Snapchat, and then Instagram brought it on. But before, it was like everyone would look at an individual post.
Tons of platforms are inspired
by
that
micro content, right? Micro content, boom, 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 micro content. But we didn't it wasn't like this big run up on that. It just kind of just happened. And now it's here, and then now it's just a part of everyday life.
Yeah, I remember when it was like do it for the Vine, the 10 seconds of fame. And, like you said, it started with like Instagram, Snapchat, and now pretty much every social media platform has been kind of pushed into a corner by the users to put stories in the platform because it became such a popular thing.
Well, the thing about it is it's people don't have the attention span to sit there and spend so much time on things. They want quick, fast stuff that they can get their daily dose of their favorite influencers or content creators. And this is a way for them to just literally be like, boom, 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 boom. I saw their stories for the day. And then they might not register all of it, but I mean, it's fast and it's not taking up all their day because there's so much content out there right now.
You know, we could springboard that onto the incentive, not just from stories, but we've seen with cryptocurrency wallets. You know, Brave browser, Opera. A lot of these browsers are building in wallets to their browsers. You know, Jack owns Cash App. They just added Bitcoin, and I'm not too far from a thought of Twitter will probably have a wallet soon. You know, a lot of these social platforms eventually will have tokenized options in the platform because that's where the mainstream's going. Their majority use case are digital. They interact in a digital environment all day, every day on that platform. So their incentive to, you know, add these digital currencies, it's really there. I just think they're trying to figure out how to monetize it. How do they get that metadata? How do they monetize that data? Things to that effect. Once they figure out how to track these whitelisted wallets from these social platforms, it'll be as ubiquitous as instant messaging. No, social platforms didn't have DMs.
Cool. It's pretty cool. We just got our coin just got added to this new wallet. They just came out. They're called Tyslin Wallet, and it's a messaging app and a wallet that holds our. They just implemented our coin. And we thought it was really cool. They hit us up and they're like, hey, you guys want to implement your coin into our wallet? So it's called Tyslin. And I was playing around with it and it's pretty cool, man. It's like
That's a cool concept.
App. Yeah.
I've been trying to get Monarch Wallet to integrate a chat messenger because, you know, like trying to put more use into one application so people don't have to leave it is definitely the goal for a lot of these platforms.
Well, yeah. And I'm sure they're going to build out a lot more features in the wallet. But yeah, I mean, I think that there's just so many different levels and so many different aspects that can be implemented, and that's why I love this space so much, man. There's so much growth and so many changes, and possibilities are endless. And we're like, I'm not a like, I know blockchain and crypto, but I'm not a developer or a tech guy. So we literally kind of just give our vision to our dev team. They implement it, we check it out, we test it, and then we kind of go back and forth. So we're kind of more like the spokespersons and the visionaries behind what we're doing. And then we have like a really cool, solid set of devs.
Well, even Apple had Steve Jobs. You know, he wasn't a coder.
I don't think I'm going to start coding anytime soon.
And I don't think a lot of people are. I think that, you know, what we see with the way this, you know, this industry is going to be built is probably from, you know, the visionaries to the developers to the, you know, use case of the end user. But I don't see an all-in-one monarch in blockchain right now. When you look at, you know, who like Satoshi of a blockchain, even Satoshi didn't create Bitcoin. He had a lot of help doing it. And if you see a project trying to do too much under their one umbrella, it usually to me is a super turn off. I kind of walk away. And that's why I like to see like people like yourselves, you know, admit like, hey, we're the visionaries. We're the guys that we have developers. A lot of people.
Yeah, there's some tech questions. Like if you were to ask me some tech stuff, I'd have to hit my devs up and be like, hey, what is it?
Give me a second.
But you know, but you're touching on something that's really important here that deters entrepreneurship in this space is they feel like everybody needs to be a developer, needs to be a coder, and you just have to have an idea, hire the motherfucking developer, really.
That's what we did. Yep. I'm not a developer at all.
But so many people in this space have an idea and they have money, but they don't move on it because they're deterred because they're afraid of, you know, not being able to find a developer getting poached from them or something. Just do it. Just do it. If you have an idea, go for it. If it fails, it fails, but at least you went for it.
Yeah, we're very fortunate that we have a really good project manager for our development team, and he's just like, I'll give him like an idea, and then he'll come back with like 4 more ideas, and then we'll just pick out the best ones, and he'll be like, all right, I'm on it. And he's just a kick-ass guy. We're really fortunate with that, and that's one of the things that I feel is one of our strengths is we do have a really good development team. So like that is really kind of
I guess
the proof of the pudding, right?
I guess we can wrap things up here and just go over, I guess, your next year the roadmap like for 2020 as 2019 wraps up, Toon Trade launches. What's the roadmap for 2020 look like for you guys?
Cool. So Tao, you want to jump in on the roadmap and I'll add to it, or
I'll talk about what as far as the Coin Bros goes. We are going to be obviously working on Toon Trade nonstop around the clock. We're going to have a bunch of new music videos coming out. We're flying out to Cayman Islands starting tomorrow, so we'll have that video out probably early January, mid-January. And then we're going to try to bang out, you know, a bunch more music to really start pushing it in the crypto space, building more awareness to the whole crypto space. We're going to be doing more vlogs, and you guys can all reach us. We answer everybody that writes us, anybody that hits us up on anything Coin Bros.
Are you going to have your Coin Bros on coins on Toon Trade? Are you just going to be the first coin?
All day, bro. We'll make all kinds of weird shit. We're gonna do all kinds of coins, man. Offer incentives. But yeah, we're gonna be doing that, and then also with Toon Trade, we're working around the clock. We have a solid team. Like I said, we're gonna be doing that beta testing here really soon, so we can start getting some feedback. And
we're looking for a little bit of funding. We're talking to a bunch of different people. And a lot of the money we want for the funding is to market this thing so that it hits the right amount of people, Like, we're under no illusion that a good amount of money needs to be put in the right type of marketing. We have a lot of different things we're implementing. Like I said, our consumer-facing app, FanFind, which is virtual scavenger hunts. We have a bunch of extra little add-ons we're adding to our platform. Detailed coin analytics. There's going to be like a coin analytic dashboard so you can see how your coin's doing.
Ooh, nice.
On our website it shows that, like the screenshot of it. But all of it's going to be really simple. Big tutorials, big influencers that are going to be attaching themselves to the brand. But right now we're in the stage of just getting rid of all the little bugs and kind of just tying up all the loose ends so that we can make sure when we do go to market, this thing kicks ass and nobody's complaining about how the functionality is, right?
Oh, there will be complaints, bro. I was gonna say, everything breaks, man, and that's what I love about this space and early things is I like to be there. I like to be the first users of projects and platforms and run into all the issues and help build it to not be so shitty. Like that's what I would
love you to be a beta tester for sure.
There's so many platforms that I've like helped do things. Like one of my favorites is like Steam Monsters. Like this game I was playing it and I basically broke it with game theory because they use blockchain technology for the playing card game. So when you issued your team, it signed a signature to the blockchain. I could just go to the blockchain and see what team you picked and pick the better team to fight against you. And then they upgraded the game so where it's a little bit more private until we both pick our teams. It's not submitted to the blockchain. And that's just like one little thing that I found. Like a lot of these platforms, like to me, that's why I show up. That's why I like being an early end user. That's why I'm in Bitcoin. I'm in Bitcoin to be a financial beta tester. I'm here to.
Let's do this. Let's after we get off this live stream, let's chop it up. Let's have another just meeting privately, and we can chop up and see if. I mean, I know you're probably a pretty busy dude, but I'll even give you a demo. I'll run you through the platform so you can kind of we'll do a screen share.
Yeah, no, I definitely would, man. All right, well, let's wrap this up. Jesse, where you headed?
I'm just here at the park. My girl and kid is ready to go. So
it looked like you were about to head out to the airport and get ready to go already.
No, soon.
All right, well, CoinBoys, much appreciated, guys. Big shout out to Toon Trade, and I wish you guys the most success, man. And guys, check out the website toontrade.io. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. The conversation is now in your hands. As always, have a day.
Hey, man, nice talking to you, bro.
Man,
thanks for having us.
Shout out to the sponsors of the podcast, MonarchToken.io, the complete crypto solution. Monarch Wallet is now available for Android, iOS, and desktop devices today. Do you want to learn how to mine crypto? Well, all you have to do is visit cryptomining.tools for profitable crypto mining information today. The Divi Project, that is diviproject.org, your one-click solution for staking and masternodes. Earn cryptocurrency using social media platforms like Somee.social, SOMEE.social, New Era Social Media. Get paid to write reviews, like reviews, comment on reviews. Visit bravocoin.com and get paid to review, available for Android and iOS devices, bravocoin.com. Shout out to the sponsors of the podcast, Monarch.